Hey everybody, Stock Catcher here. Today in this video I'm going to be going over several stocks as usual. Today in terms of trading it was definitely more choppier, more harder, right? But the team still managed to secure some nice bank. I saw people just helping each other, just being positive, right? In terms of the overall market, today's buy, the S&P fell a pretty good amount. I mean, it went from at the open time it was at 667 and then it fell all the way to 657 at the low. So that's a $10 drop. That's pretty significant, right? So a lot of people were just still helping each other. As you see here, some traded days just popped off despite that. And I'm going to be sharing some more interesting stocks today. So first stock for the video is Femi. So if you look at Femi, this made a big move today. The reason it started to move today, in my opinion, right, is because President Trump announced news, right, in regards to this similar type of sector. And then I saw on the live stream, before this made that huge move up to 119, I was telling people exactly how during this time period when there's a theme, right, if you've been noticing the past couple of days, is that's pretty much been the trading strategy where a stock has a theme. For example, metal, remember CRML, remember AQMS, these type of stocks. After the news, it started to make really big rally, right? And then the whole basket started to move. Same thing with the seeds and the food plays. Remember RKDA? There was a lot more RKDA. There was seed. There was S dot. There was AGRI. And then after that, today, if you noticed, IVF, Femi, and IVF, there was more plays that ended up just popping. So Femi, the reason I'm still looking at this stock, because this stock actually they received regulatory approval for their product. And when we're talking about Femi stock, usually this is a stock that likes to run multi-day, just based on my personal experience trading Femi in the past. I will be watching this stock closely if it ends up pulling that multi-day type of look, right? The multi-day setup, which is one of my top 10 strategies. So next stock you have to watch, guys, will be CETX. This one, Semtrex. This is a very tight, I believe, reverse split. And the reason I'm saying very tight reverse split is because usually when a stock has this type of structure, very very thin, very tight, it ends up making really big moves, right? After a, not just in regards to news, but once these stocks start to get a lot of volume, they end up ramping a lot. So Semtrex actually is in the security surveillance and AI type of sector, right? Because if you're looking at the stock, based on the past price personality as well as stock personality, the stock usually ends up spiking several dollars a share. You have to keep an eye, add it to your watch list, maybe do some more research on CETX, right? Because if you look at the daily chart as well, it's starting to kind of consolidate after the sell-off, right, from the previous chart. So next stock you gotta watch, guys, is Galt. Galt is Galactin Therapeutic. So Galt is a stock that has been running for several weeks now. I actually made 2 videos, I believe, on this. You could check. I made 2 videos on Galt, and then it ended up ripping several dollars after my video. And look at it right now. What is that setup, guys? You already know. It's a multi-day setup. So if you look at Galt stock, it's definitely starting to form that support base level around that $5 huge level, psychological level. So I'll definitely be monitoring Galt as well, considering it's also in the NASH. It has a NASH angle as well, right? Which is really big in the biospace. Remember I talked about cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's. NASH is another one that you have to really remember when you're talking about bio stocks, guys. So next stock, DGXX, this one, DigiPower X. So this stock is actually positioning themselves at this intersection of energy and AI infrastructure by building a modular data center. So this stock actually, they have a deal to acquire NVIDIA and GPU systems. So DGXX, if you look at this chart, it's going towards that previous resistance level, and then once the stock breaks over resistance and then it holds as new support, that's something you got to remember as well. When a stock moves over resistance and then it holds, that becomes a very strong level of continuation support. So DGXX, I'm gonna be looking at this one because it's definitely it has that look as well, right? Also the bullish sector, Nvidia angle as well. So next one, you gotta watch, guys. TPST, Tempest Therapeutic. So TPST is the same situation as CETX, where, so when we're talking about TPST stock, this is, like I mentioned, similar to CETX, right? Semtrex, the one I mentioned earlier, is a very tight, thin name. So for TPST, this one actually is in the cancer sector. If you remember what I said earlier about the biotech, the big five, right? Cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer, Parkinson's, obesity, as well as the one I mentioned earlier, what was it called? That stock, NASH. These 6 sectors you really have to remember for bio stocks. So TPST, if you look at this chart right now, is actually bullish. It's forming a multi-day setup as well. If you look at TPST, how it's just been constantly just in an uptrend the past couple sessions, right? So I highly recommend you add this to your watch list. Next one is Deft Technology. So this is a stock I believe I made one video on in the past, and then it didn't really move much. It was just kind of consolidating, right? This stock, usually I don't see this making big moves, but the reason I mentioned this stock is in a very interesting sector. When we're talking about, decentralized finance, Dev stock, also I had a couple people mention to me as well. I just want to throw this in there. So next stock is Gulf Resources. So this stock actually is in a kind of a channel that you really have to keep an eye on as well, because this one actually hit my scanner today, and I noticed that this stock also has the fundamental factors going for it as well, right? Not just technical. So I just wanted to throw this in there. Keep an eye on Gulf Resources, guys. This could have potential swing trade setup. And last stock for the video, guys, is QCLS. I've had several people actually hit me up saying they're bullish on it. I think I had like 5 people. And QCLS, the thing about the stock, that it used to be TNFA. If you remember, TNFA I made many videos on, and then ended up making a nice rally up to the upside, right? So now it's QCLS. So QCLS is a quantum type of angle, and if you look at this stock, actually, there could definitely be upside potential. I had a lot of people asking me what I think about this stock. If you just strictly base off technicals, I mean, it looks really good. If you go to QCLS's hourly chart, look at the setup where it made a big move up, and then it pulled back, consolidate, and now it's forming a potential multi-day setup as well. So QCLS, I'm definitely going to be monitoring this stock, because again, it also has that interest behind it. It's not just technical, but interest as well as fundamental factor going forward. So this is definitely on my watch list going forward. It really has to close over that 565 level, as well as this could easily hit once it goes over that 6+, right? So if you made it to the end of the video, guys, I appreciate it. If you liked the video, maybe drop a comment. This video today is kind of short because today, like I said, the SPY was kind of selling off, right? And a lot of stocks were just bleeding today. So in terms of, we're mainly bulls, right? So that's why today there wasn't really any bullishness. I mean, not obviously there was some stocks that were bullish, but for the most part it was just bleeding. The bears gotta eat too, because sometimes, guys, bears, they have families, they gotta short, and they gotta do what they gotta do, right? So I hope everybody has a great night. I'm gonna see you guys in the morning time, guys. Stock Hedger signing out, and have a great night, everybody. I'll see you in the morning.